It's been nearly a month since Ali saw her son. She waits for news outside the military tribunal, where Ali is among dozens of men facing trial on terrorism charges. Those charges can carry the death penalty and are seen as an escalation in the ongoing conflict between the state and the people. The defendants are alleged to have thrown Molotov cocktails at security forces and burned down a municipality building during protests in the northern city of Tripoli last month. The demonstrations were held to demand government compensation during a strict coronavirus lockdown that worsened living conditions for the poor. One protester was shot in the back during the unrest. His family and activists want to know why no charges have been brought against those responsible for killing him.
Look at him, Aunt Georgina cries. I raised him like my son, such a gentle and calm boy, she says. This was taken moments before Jinky Mani died, after police shot him in the head. She says he had breached a government-imposed curfew to get food, but police say he was taking part in protests against the coronavirus restrictions. What's known as the Free Citizens started as an online movement calling for people to bang their pots and pans every night during the curfew. The protests grew and spilled into the streets across the country. In response, police have fired tear gas and live bullets to disperse the crowds. Several have been killed and many injured. Still, the night demonstrations continue.
A business executive and 2 pilots have been convicted over their role in helping Carlos Ghosn escape from Japan. The former Nissan chief had been under house arrest, charged with financial crimes, charges he has always denied. But in December 2019 he fled the country after allegedly being smuggled onto a private jet hidden inside a music case. On Wednesday, a Turkish court convicted an executive from the aircraft's operator MNG Jet on charges of migrant smuggling. 2 pilots were also convicted. None of the 3 are expected to return to jail though, having already spent some time in detention. One of the pilots said it was unfair to expect them to have known what was going on.
Yet another accusation of sexual abuse shakes up the film industry in France. The Paris prosecutor's office has confirmed Gérard Depardieu, one of the country's most well-known actors, has been placed under formal investigation for raping and sexually assaulting an actress on 2 separate occasions in 2018. Though the initial investigation had been dropped in 2019 for insufficient evidence, the case was reopened last summer. Depardieu has denied the allegations through his lawyer, who complained that the investigation should not have been made public. This is just the latest in a series of accusations of sexual abuse targeting elite public figures in France over the past 2 months alone.
eBay, Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha, Hey, Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha. I don't even know what the meaning of that.
Of all the things you imagine could wash up on shore, certainly coffins are not on that list. But when part of a cemetery in the Italian Riviera collapsed into the sea, sliding 200 coffins along with it, this local said it was a shocking sight. So far, authorities have found 10 bodies and were immediately able to identify 5 of them. At this point, 20 coffins have been recovered. Fortunately, the cemetery was closed to the public, so no visitors or staff were injured. The cemetery is 70 meters above sea level. Officials believe the collapse happened because of an eroding cliff underneath it. The damage became even more severe after many strong coastal storms that have hit the area. The local prosecutor's office has opened an investigation into what exactly caused that collapse. No one has been charged yet.
From now on, it will be harder for North Korean citizens to secretly enjoy K-pop or K-drama in their country because anyone who gets caught distributing the contents will be executed. In December last year, North Korea has imposed new anti-reactionary thought law to prevent its citizens from being exposed to outside cultural influences, including South Korean entertainment. Details were not disclosed, but according to South Korean National Intelligence Service, anyone caught importing banned materials from the South could face a life sentence or death, and anyone caught watching it could face up to 15 years in prison. The North efforts to increase penalties and tighten restrictions on outside information was also discussed in the second preliminary meeting of its party held from February 8th to 11th.